Hey guys, just wanted to spend a few minutes like we've been doing over the last 3-4 days.
Yep, we're going to do it 7 days straight, a daily dose of inspiration every morning at 10:30. So join us for coffee time.
The inspiration is the coffee part, right?
That
Let me
gets
get
me
some.
going.
Kelsey made me some coffee. I gotta.
But today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics.
Housework getting done.
Well, that's part of it, I guess.
We did that,
I like
guys.
when it's done.
Last night we worked right at
We
the house.
did. We were staining a beam.
So what's your favorite? What's your favorite topic, man?
Thankfulness.
Thankfulness.
Mm-hmm.
That is a powerful word. What about thankfulness do you like?
I love being thankful. I think it's something that is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I always joke because people tell me, Kels, life's not always butterflies and rainbows.
Yeah.
And I agree. Life's going to get tough. Things are going to happen. It's going to happen to all of us.
And there's like bumblebees and grasshoppers. We know it's not always butterflies.
But
Right.
what I say to that is I agree, but you always have to be searching for the butterflies and the rainbows and find reasons to be thankful and find your joy. What do you think about
I think we're
thankfulness?
done. I mean, just drop the microphone. Kelsey said it all, guys. I couldn't agree with you more. There's always going to be situations that are stressful, that are, hard to get through. But if you always try to find something to be thankful for in the midst of that, it automatically changes your mindset, right?
It does. It's actually been scientifically proven that when you have a negative thought, it affects your brain. You release toxic chemicals that change your brain. It changes everything about you, your mental state, your physical state. But on the opposite end, when you have positive thoughts, that's going to release positive chemicals and those good endorphins and make you feel good. Mindset.
Is that like a movie
What?
about someone like Scrooge or somebody?
Yes, my favorite movie.
What was the other one? The Christmas
A
movie?
Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Okay.
And I think that that's a great example of this. So in A Muppet's Christmas Carol, which isn't just for Christmas, you can watch it all day
What if
long.
I told you I've never watched it?
You've watched it. You fell asleep. You don't remember it, but
Okay.
you should have stuck through.
I don't think I've watched. Isn't it like real puppets?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the Muppets.
Yeah.
You don't know what the Muppets are?
What's the other one? The Grinch.
The Grinch is a good one too. That's actually another good example. Yes.
Oh.
So both of these
Okay.
stories, we have the main characters have negative thoughts going on through their head. And in the story of A Muppet's Christmas Carol, you're focusing on Ebenezer Scrooge, and you see how he goes back to his past, you go to his present, and you go to his future. And you see the things that have impacted his life, good and bad and ugly, and how they've let him kind of go on a downward spiral from negative thoughts. And I think that that's something that can be so easy to happen. But then in the end of that movie, his heart changes. He becomes thankful and everything changes. His relationships change, his health changes, his spirit's uplifted, and he's this happy person now.
Right. But why do you think? I think it's because his perspective changed.
Oh,
Right?
that's a good one, yes.
Because when our perspective is warped, not thinking clearly, we're in an emotional state, right? We're angry, we're whatever, what happens? Our perspective changes. And we go, as human beings, I think we talked about this the first day we did our coffee talk, is it's very easy as human beings to go negative or to think the worst. And that's kind of what we're talking about, having that outlook of rainbows and butterflies. Like, yes, this is terrible going on around us. Yes, the economy. Yes, this virus. But on the flip side, man, thank God it didn't affect more people.
Yeah.
Thank God the stock market yesterday was bouncing back. Thank God you still have a job. And if you don't, hey, thank God that maybe another opportunity is going to open and it's even better.
Yeah.
Or I know some of
That's
you
happened
guys,
to us.
I know some of you guys are sitting at home and you're utilizing this time to better yourself so that when this season's over, you're going to launch something that you never would have launched if you didn't sit home. If this quarantine and everything never happened, you wouldn't have even launched it. Because why? You're remaining thankful through this process and you're hopeful, right? Your perspective is positive, like we talked about positive versus negative, and it's allowing you to go through this season of sitting at home to be productive and thankful and keep lifting your family up and all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of it's just perspective.
Absolutely. And there are seasons where it's harder to be thankful than other seasons.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen, and that's okay too. So it's easy to be thankful when you sell the big house. We're the Flippin Experts. So when we sell a house, we're all excited and grateful, and that's easy. But it can be harder to be thankful in the tough times.
Yes.
But even in the tough times, there's something you can be thankful for.
Yeah.
Whether it's something that seems small, thinking of that little thing can change everything.
Yeah.
For me, just a cup of coffee in the morning is something to be thankful
Yeah.
for. Just the fact that I woke up and there's breath in my lungs is something to be thankful
And guys,
for.
I'm thankful there's coffee in the morning, if you know what I'm saying.
I need
Brings
my
her
coffee in the
joy,
morning. Yes.
Okay? Hey, I remember I had just gotten out of the Marine Corps and I had moved to Tampa and things hadn't gone my way. I didn't have the job I wanted. I was paying rent. I was living in an apartment complex and things were just not looking up for me. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I just got out of the military. I was in between, finding my next job, which ended up being a state trooper in Florida. And that process takes a year, to get through, especially with as many background problems that I had. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Well, that's a whole other story. I'll get into that some other time. But I remember being in my apartment and I had a roommate living with me because I couldn't afford the rent by myself. I was thankful I had a roommate, right? Mm-hmm. And he was living with me and I remember being so broke and so hungry, and we put our money together and it turned out we had $11.23 left between us both. We had rent coming up. That was $900. So we were in big trouble. But I remember being so thankful that we had $11 and we're okay, how do we make $11 last? Wow. And sat there in my living room on the floor, selling furniture, what do we gotta do? And going, okay, bread and peanut butter and jelly. That was our answer. Because I remember being young and peanut butter and jelly, you had it every day for lunch and you were always full because it's bread. So we literally went out and bought $11 worth of peanut butter and jelly and bread. And I just remember how thankful I was that I could eat for another couple days. Now guys, it was just pride. I should have went and just borrowed money, asked family to help me, whatever, but I didn't want to. I just remember when I started getting money back in and life started going, I was man, I'm so thankful for that time I went through because I never would have understood people that don't have money, $11 to your name to eat. And there's nothing in sight, no destination in sight. Even if I have a job, it's still 2 more weeks of work before I get a first paycheck, right? So I just remember, it makes me thankful for what I have now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you said past, present, and future.
Yep, and those are 3 things to be thankful for.
Yes.
You should be thankful for your past because the good, the bad, and the ugly, that's led you to where you are today.
It's made you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
If me and you didn't struggle through certain things, we wouldn't be where we're at today. Flippin Experts would never have been created. We wouldn't be doing coffee talk with you right now. So we're thankful for those things. And they might have hurt.
It could have been really
hard. They were
hard.
painful.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear so many people that have gone through stuff that's worse than me. So I stay in a thankfulness as much as I possibly can.
Absolutely. And then be thankful for what's going on in the present right now too. I know some of us are self-distancing, we're home a lot more, and it can seem a little stressful at times, but be thankful that you have that family time. Be thankful that you have the opportunity to be able to stay home. There's just always something to be grateful for in the present. And then I think it's okay to be thankful for what's to come in the future.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big dreamer and creative person. I love visualizing and dreaming and making plans. And I always start speaking that into existence, being thankful for what's to come.
100%. I mean, you're literally speaking life over your situation, over your family, over your spouse, over your kids. You don't think your kids need to hear that? You're going to grow up and be an amazing baseball player one day because that's what the kid dreams about. Hey, you're going to be an amazing entrepreneur. You're going to be amazing when you go to college. You're that's thankfulness, right? But you're speaking that into existence. And then what happens when you're speaking in existence? You're not focused on the negative. Okay? So positive and negative can't live at the same place, right? If I'm being thankful for something, it's very hard for me to speak negative when I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So for me, that mindset, and actually I love that speaking into existence, because they actually proved it. It's same as writing down your goals and objectives and all that. When you speak it, it's another thing in your brain. Boom. Okay, now I know it can happen. Now I'm speaking it. Now I'm looking at it. Now, and it just keeps going.
Well, you've been doing something that I think is incredible and inspirational, and we need to share it with everybody because they might want to try
Kelsey.
it too.
Kelsey, what are we talking about?
You've been writing down something every morning. Let's talk about what
I didn't
you've
know
been
what
writing
she was
down.
talking about. I do so many amazing things every day.
True. Yes,
No,
I'm thankful for all the things you do, baby.
No, that was sarcasm. Write that one down.
True.
I know you
I
are.
just saved my beam. I'm happy.
I did.
So what is it that you've been doing? And maybe
I
watching can try this
I
too.
forget where I heard it from, and it's basically called a gratitude journal. Mm-hmm. But it's you don't need to go buy it or anything like that. And I heard it. I forget where I heard it.
Well, you can do it in your phone.
You can do it anywhere.
Scratch it paper.
I just do it in my journal. I have a journal in the morning. I journal every morning when I'm up, when I'm looking at my priorities and all that kind of stuff. But I heard somebody doing it, and it was, how do you eliminate like gossip and complaining and this and that, and how do you just stay in the moment and always remember the great things? Because there's always awesome things going on around us, but sometimes we're so busy we don't see it.
Yeah.
And it was, they said every single morning, sit down and I basically write 5 things I'm thankful for. I want to encourage you guys to do this. I'm telling you, it'll change your day. Mm-hmm. I write 5 things I'm thankful for, and I have to write 5 things underneath it. And I don't mean like air. No.
But it could be.
It could be, but you want to, you're if you're in a season of thankfulness, you're expressing it, right? You're talking about it. You know, when we say, hey, thank you so much for helping me move today, that's an expression.
Yes.
So I do that on paper, and I say, okay, I'm thankful for Kelsey.
Oh,
and then next to it, I say, why? You know?
Ooh, you're
because
thinking
this. I'm thankful for my renovation crews. You know, and I list them out like, hey, thank you. And another thing it helps me do is to verbalize it when I go meet my crew. Mm-hmm. To verbalize it when you wake up in the morning. So it's not just me writing it down, it's me remembering who is helping me get to where I'm going, who's in my life that is bringing me value and is helping me. And I just write down 5 things, and then the next day, I have to do 5 different things. And next day, 5 different things. And you'd be surprised. I thought I'd run out really quick, but I'm still like, I'm thankful for my horses. I'm thankful for my mom. I'm thankful for my brother. I'm thankful this happened today.
Or a specific situation
Yep.
that happened.
So I've done that for a couple months now, and it's just, it puts you in a positive mindset right off the bat, the very beginning of the day. So hopefully that helps you. Yeah.
Well, I saw you doing it, so I started doing it.
Yep.
It impacted our family. Now I'm doing it too.
Right.
And I think we're both in a happier place.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it sets your tone for the day. It sets your mindset for the day. And anytime you're thinking positive or being thankful for something, being grateful for what you have, I mean, it can only go up from there, right? It can't really go down because you're building hype up, and it's awesome. I love it.
So how does it affect you? Because I've heard it said before, it's not happy people who are thankful. Mm-hmm. It's thankful people who are happy. So the thankfulness has to come first before the happiness. And I think all of us are striving. Who doesn't want to be happy? We all want to be happy.
Right.
But it starts with being thankful for what you've got.
For what we do have. Yeah. I mean, that makes total sense. You can't be, I mean, you want more and more and more, but if you're not thankful for what you have now, you're always going to be chasing whatever that end goal is for you. So I agree. I like that. We need to write that down somewhere. Put it on a plaque. Maybe we'll sell it on Amazon or something.
It's probably been done.
But hey, today we want to give you guys a couple tips to help you remain thankful. Or maybe you're saying, hey, how do I do it? Do I just walk around saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you? And that's silly, right?
You can though.
You can. She laughed this morning. She's like, I'm going to do it.
I do that.
I'm going to do it. But what are some tips and some ways, Kelsey, that if we want to be more thankful, we can be a very thankful person, but we want to express it more maybe, or we want to relay it to somebody. Like, what do we need to stop doing, and then what do we need to do?
Well, I think first you need to recognize maybe negative thoughts you're having or negative speech that you're speaking and change that into a positive. So first recognize maybe where you're gossiping or where you're complaining or speaking negatively, and start changing that into something positive. So instead of complaining about, give me something,
Horses pooping on the lawn?
Yes, that's a great one, because I never thought I'd see the day where I'm thankful for this, but it's true. Horses, they get stomach issues easily, and if they don't go to the bathroom, they can get really sick and
they die.
almost instantly. It's crazy.
Yes.
So I am thankful for the horses doing their business on the front lawn. So that's not something you think you're going to be thankful about. Even
Until
now,
a horse gets sick,
I'm thankful we have some extra toilet paper in the bathroom. Didn't know that's going to be something that's on the top of my thankful list.
Never
but here
would
we
have
are.
thought. Yeah.
But so something negative, like having to clean up the horsemen who are out front, can seem like such a negative thing, but then here we are changing that into a positive and saying thank you.
The horses
I'm
are
so
okay.
thankful. The horses are healthy. They're happy. I get to clean this stuff on the front lawn. It's a good thing.
Well, we drag it behind the truck.
It's actually kind of fun. It's like a video game.
Yeah. We just harrow it. We don't even. I don't have Kelsey picking it up with her shut. Sorry, Jackson. That was
TMI. This is morning coffee talk with you.
Okay, so you said we need to stop gossiping because obviously that affects other people, but we're also talking and discussing the negative things of other people. And there's also a sense of drama when you gossip, right? So like, oh, did you hear what so-and-so didn't, right? And it's just, that's not
Negative,
positive.
negative.
That's not
Don't do it.
thankful. That's not thankful for that person. And then what was the other thing you said?
Don't gossip. I don't remember.
Okay.
Don't complain.
Don't complain. And I think a lot of people think, well, I don't really complain, or nobody hears me complain.
Ooh, that's
I'm telling you right there,
if you're thinking,
challenge yourself to actually think about how often you complain. You might not verbalize it to your spouse or to your kids or to your boss or to your coworker, somebody out there, but are you thinking it? Because thinking it's the same thing. How can you be in a thankful state of mind when you're negatively saying, I can't believe so-and-so did this at work and they said this about me.
Yeah.
So eliminating those is the first step,
Yep.
or at least recognizing them and working on it, right? We're not just going to eliminate it overnight. But what are maybe 2 or 3 things that they can do to put them in a state of thankfulness? What do you think?
Well, I think what you said, number 1, is great. Write down what you're thankful for.
Yeah.
Take time every day to think about what you're thankful for if you're not going to write it down.
Yep.
Number 2, you do this all the time.
I would say expressing it. It's very easy. Like at the end of an email, what do? Thank you, Paul Tompkins. Instead of like really expressing it and conversing it. So for me, I'll write Kelsey love letters and put them around the house. So when she wakes up, usually by the coffee machine, that's the first thing she sees. She gets a cup of coffee and there's a love letter. In that love letter, what am I doing? I'm prophesying, I'm speaking how I feel about her. And as I'm writing it, my brain is going, hey, you have it great. She is the love of your life. Aww. She is an amazing mommy horse of 8. You know, she is a great designer. She is, and I'm writing these things to her, but it's reaffirming that in my brain saying, you better be thankful. Thank God you're thankful. Yeah. And you just keep doing that. So I think like writing love letters is an amazing way of expressing thankfulness to your spouse. You can write one to your kids. Hey, so-and-so, you're doing great in school. You know, I love you. You crushed it in football. You crushed it in basketball. Like those little things, not just saying it, but like writing it down. Like, because now they're hearing it and they're seeing it. So for me,
that's special.
That's a big deal. So I think anytime you're sharing your feelings in a positive way, that's one way to remain thankful.
That's fantastic. And I know too, when thinking about being thankful for the past, there's so many people who have impacted my life that I'm so grateful for, but I didn't recognize it in the moment. So like old neighbors, teachers, coaches. So I've written them emails or thanks to Facebook and social media, I'm able to connect with them now and say, hey, you've really impacted my life and I'm so thankful because you shared this, this, and this with me. Okay. And I think that helps me, of course, to be thankful and express it, but it also helps impact them too.
Yep. And I think the last thing I would say is for people to volunteer more, to get in their communities more. Anytime you're around someone less fortunate than you, you immediately begin to say, man, I have it good. Man, my spouse is amazing. Man, my kids are nothing like that. Thank God, right? I'm just kidding.
That sounds a little negative.
That's a little negative, but it was positive at the same time. But let's be honest, like when you're out serving and you're at a food kitchen and you see people that come in the line that don't know where they're sleeping tonight, when they don't know where their next shower is, when somebody like me, right, when I first got out of the Marine Corps, I had no money. I had $11 to try to make ends meet food-wise, let alone living. Like when you get around people like that are in desperate, dire need of other things, the simple things of life, I think you become more thankful, right?
It shifts your perspective, like
you
said earlier.
Because we get comfortable, right? Oh, I have this, I have a bank account, I have this, things are great. Yeah. How many of us took a different mind shift when all this started going on in the world, right? When the economy started dipping, when the virus broke out. How weren't we all more thankful for the things that we have? Man, I'm glad I'm healthy. I'm glad I'm quarantined in my house with my family versus spread out. I can't see them. I can't go there. I know we made some videos for our families, just like, hey, let's tell them face to face. We love them. We care about them. Yeah, I can shoot them a text. But what's more heartfelt?
Right.
So expressing that. But when you volunteer, I mean, when you get around people that aren't as fortunate as you, it really puts you in perspective.
Well, not only that, I have a friend who went on a mission trip and she was so excited. She wanted to make an impact and help people. She goes overseas, and when she came back, she was amazed because the people who she went to help were helping her. They were teaching her that they had less, but they had more joy, and it made them more thankful for what they did have. So today we just really want to encourage you to find something to be thankful for.
Yes, and no matter what the situation is, guys, there's a lot of hard stuff out there. Maybe you've been divorced, maybe someone hurt you, maybe you're down on your luck, you lost somebody. Guys, it's hard, and no one's going to say it's easy, no one's going to say get over it. Just try to find something in that situation to be thankful. Be thankful you had the time to spend with them. Be thankful that they were in your life. And, you know, those are big deals. Like, yes, it hurts to lose someone. Yes, it hurts to break up with someone or get divorced. But are you thankful for the time you did have with them? So today,
be thankful for your past, your present, and what's to come in the future.
We love you guys. We hope that this encouraged you, helped you. We're excited about tomorrow. I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, I think Kelsey does.
I've got an idea.
She has an idea. But hey guys, we love you. Go out there, have an amazing weekend, and be thankful for something and share it with someone today.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m.
Thanks, guys.